Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Big T. Welcome back to Sports Talk. So let's recap the week it was. Let's go. In football news, Von Miller told reporters earlier this week about his contract situation and the whole ordeal with the Denver Broncos about getting a new long-term deal done because he does not want to play under the franchise tag. He said, and I quote, just a time for waiting right now. So, we'll have to see. We'll just have to see what happens with that. Once again, really crappy situation the whole way through. Like I think I said in my last episode, great player. Deserves to have a big, deserves to have a really big contract. But like I say, with these negotiations, trying to get new deals done, they can take a long time to get done. So I think a deal will get done in this matter, but like I said, just a matter of time before we see what happens. In NHL news, today is the NHL draft. That will be happening at 4. As you can see, I have my Bruins jersey on. I figure it would be appropriate for today. But really interesting news came out yesterday. There were a lot of trade rumors going around about PK Subban, the all-star defenseman from the Montreal Canadiens. There were reports about him possibly being a trading block today. The GM for the Montreal Canadiens came out and said he did take calls, he was listening, but at the end of the day, he said, "Look, we're not trading the guy." Which I don't know why you would try and trade this guy. I mean, this guy is an all-star. He's one of the best defensemen in the league. That's hard for me to say because think about it, I'm a Bruins fan and we hate the Canadians and stuff like that. But that's not the case here. Talented player. That was just a really weird. Like trade rumor, which I thought like, oh wow, really? So like I said, the draft this time, let's see what happens with all the teams. Hopefully something happens. We'll touch bases on the NHL draft and who went first overall on Monday. So there's that. In NBA news, the draft was last night. The 76ers with the first overall pick took Ben Simmons, the forward out of LSU. Big kid, I believe he's about 6'7". Congratulations to him. And congratulations to all the NBA players that were drafted last night. Best of luck to all of them in their NBA career. So that's all we have to touch base on the NBA. So one big thing, I know that soccer's going on right now. I know like over in Europe and stuff like that. But I'm going to say this right now, guys. I'm not going to talk about soccer because, one, I know nothing about soccer. Two, there's really no interesting stories going on about soccer. So if you were expecting to hear soccer on here, I'm sorry. But at the same time, I'm just covering major sports. If something big happens in soccer, I will try my best to get it reported on here. So that's going to wrap it up with the big headlines in the big sports. So now, let's go to the local teams. In Red Sox news, Xander Bogaerts hit a walk-off single to beat the White Sox by a score in the bottom of the 10th by a score of 8-7. This kid really has been playing unbelievable baseball. The shortstop has been playing very good. The whole team's been playing pretty good heading into the All-Star break. The All-Star game's coming up in a couple of weeks, so hopefully we can see a couple of our Red Sox in there. So we'll see what happens there with the Sox. In Celtics news, a lot of people around here are not happy about the recent draft pick. The Celtics drafted Jaylen Brown, a forward. Apparently, a lot of people are not happy with the pick. Like like I say, like I know there's been a lot of trade rumors about they were trying to move that third overall pick, but guys, these are businessmen. They know what they're doing, and my opinion on the whole matter is, it is what it is. In Bruins news, there's been a lot of reports about there's a possible trade for defenseman Stanley. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pronounce his name. Stanley Jones. He is a defenseman from the Columbus Blue Jackets. It would be really good to see the Bruins get a player of this caliber, a young player, especially with everything that's going on the defense side. I mean, guys, look at Zdeno Chara, one of my favorite players on the Bruins. But at the same time, guys, he is getting up there in age. It's it's time we really need to try and get this team younger, hungrier, and a lot more talent. Because honestly, I don't know about you, I like to see another Stanley Cup before I get to be really, really old. So that's with that's then also Louis Eriksson. The Bruins are reported trying to get one last shot, trying to get a long-term deal done with him, but it looks like it's not looking good in negotiations. Louis Eriksson, he had an unbelievable year for the Bruins last year, and it's just and guys, it's just those things. Hey, these guys only have so many years to make so much money, and they're gonna go. I mean, I would love to see him take a hometown discount to stay here, but at the same time, he's got to do what he thinks is best for him and his family. So we'll keep looking at that situation. Hopefully, the Bruins can get something done in the off season. I really hope. Like I think I might have said this in my last video, I would love to see the Bruins go out and get Steven Stamkos, the forward out of from Tampa Bay. Unbelievable player. I think he could help this team out, with scoring, leadership. I mean, I think they might have to move a few players around to possibly land that, because he's probably going to want, big money. Traditionally, the Bruins don't do that normally, but we will see. We will see what happens there. So that's it for Bruins news. And Patriots news. One weird thing: Julian Edelman was seen walking without a walking boot, which is a good sign because he did have surgery in the offseason to repair that foot. He did miss a good chunk of the season with that injury. But the big news, it's not in sports, it's actually something that happened on television. Ben Affleck dropped the F-bomb on an HBO show 18 times. Before I started recording, I actually watched the interview. Guys, that was the best interview I ever saw in my life. First of all, Ben Affleck, he is a local around here in New England. So, hey, dude, good job with the interview, man. You stood up for Tom, you stood up for the Pats, and the whole deflate gate. Guys, I'm sure a lot of people are kind of tired of hearing, deflated footballs here. I mean, here we are almost 2 years since it happened. I'm actually going to make one big statement about the whole thing, and then I'm probably not going to talk about it ever again. My opinion on Deflategate is just total BS. That's all it is. I believe the league mishandled the situation. I believe the league just, has not come up with any conclusive evidence to say, like, hey, he did this. Now, everyone keeps going back to, like, oh, he didn't show his phone. He didn't. You know what, guys? This isn't like, a big murder case or something. Like, he doesn't have to show his phone if he doesn't want to. That's what I think it was, because I think it was Commissioner Goodell being like the little, I'm trying to be nice here and I don't want to get criticized, but the little, brat that he is sometimes. I think if that's a word you want to use. The way, I think, because he didn't get his way, because he said, like, hey, Tom, give me your phone so we can look at it. He didn't do that, and unfortunately, he's like, like, okay, well, screw you. Like, basically, he's like, you're gonna screw me, I'm gonna screw you. But like I said, the whole situation, the whole Deflategate, there has been no compelling evidence to say like, hey, they honestly did that. I think it's just the whole thing is just a big jealousy thing. I think the whole thing is just the whole situation that should have been handled. You figure the NFL would have learned after the whole Ray Rice situation, which I believe that was still, BS that they said like, oh, we didn't have this video. I'm like, well, yeah, it's not like, I don't understand how you don't have the video. So it's, the whole situation was just mishandled. I really think, I'm hoping that Tom does get the courts behind him and try and get this thing done. But then again, I'm prepared. Like, if Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be the starting quarterback. And guys, I know people are being like, well, he's not Tom Brady. Well, guys, eventually we have to move forward from him, unfortunately. Look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning retired. That's a, I don't like him, but as a football fan, he's one of the best. He did it year in and year out. The only reason they won that Super Bowl was because they had an outstanding defense. It's just, Father Time catches up with all of us guys. Unfortunately, we don't stay young forever. That's easy for me to say. I'm 26 and I still got my whole life ahead of me. So it's, once again, we'll see what happens with the whole thing. Like I said, I'm confident that Garoppolo can come in and play 4 outstanding games. Do I think we're going to have a situation we did in 2001 where Drew Bledsoe got hurt, Tom Brady took the reins, and the rest is history? No, I don't think so. But, like I said, I think he can handle it. I think he can, he doesn't have to make every play. I think he just needs to go out there and be like, look, throw it to the open man. Don't do too much. Hand the ball a few times, and like I said, hopefully they can come out hopefully they can come out strong this season. I'm actually going to go to the opening game in Arizona, so that'll be kind of cool. Never been to Arizona, so that'll be fun. But yeah, that whole interview, back to the Ben Affleck interview, that was an unbelievable interview. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll actually leave a link in the description below, just in case you guys haven't watched it yet. But bear in mind, it's if you're a little kid, guys, there's a lot of bad language on there. So parents, just make sure your kids don't watch anything that's too inappropriate, because this interview really is somewhat inappropriate. But I think Affleck was just really upset with the whole thing. Like I said before, a lot of people around New England are upset about it. So, all right, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button. Social media in the description below. Always remember to be kind, generous, and love one another. And as always, I will see you on the other side. Bye!